At 5:55 p.m. on July 28th, Archangel Michael says a doctor gave you something that wasn't just for your body. Heaven detected a hidden assignment from the enemy. Open this now before it grows. It was 5:55 p.m. on July 28th. Heaven grew quiet. Something shifted. Something entered your life unseen. Archangel Michael leaned close to Earth's veil that day. He saw a hand, the doctor's hand, touch your body. But what entered you wasn't only medicine or care. No, this was more. This was deeper, more hidden. Heaven says it wasn't just for your healing. There was a second assignment, spiritual in nature. The enemy tried to plant something while you were weak. And now, the angels are urgently warning you to act. This isn't about fear, it's about revelation. You need to understand what was secretly transferred. It wasn't physical. It was spiritual, energetic, strategic. Your trust opened a gate, and someone used it. Not all doctors are evil, but not all are pure. This one moment, the single act, was used as a door. Michael says the enemy tried to attach something to you, and it's growing quietly like a seed in dark soil. But you are not helpless. Heaven has caught it in time. You must awaken before it takes deeper root. The reason you've been tired, confused, or emotionally heavy, it's not just life. It's not just stress. That doctor's visit was a divine checkpoint. Michael says the angelic realm marked it clearly. You need to revisit that moment in prayer and truth, because something foreign was left inside you. And now, it's time to remove it completely. His message is your activation key. Don't dismiss it like a passing warning. It was sent today for a reason. Type I'm rising to get the blessing 4896. At first, you didn't think anything was wrong. The doctor smiled. They spoke gently. They acted like they cared. But heaven says there was something else happening that day. Something behind the smile, behind the calm voice, behind the kind eyes. Archangel Michael saw it. The moment the doctor touched your arm, something was transferred. You felt nothing strange in your body that day, but the spirit realm recorded a secret change. The enemy didn't need a loud moment to plant something. They only needed an opening, and your body was open in trust. Your spirit was calm. Your defenses were down. This is not to make you afraid of doctors or medicine. Heaven uses many doctors for good, but the enemy also places people in positions of trust to carry out small assignments that look normal on the outside. This one was quiet, but it had a goal. A seed was placed, a spiritual marker, something to drain you slowly, something to confuse your peace, disturb your sleep, cloud your clarity. You didn't feel it right away because the attack was not meant to shock. It was meant to grow in silence, like a weed hidden beneath flowers. Type I'm rising to get the blessing 5994. Michael says this is not your fault. You did nothing wrong. You were only trying to care for your health. You walked in with honesty. You believed someone was helping you. And that is why the enemy tried to use it. When your heart is soft, when your spirit is open, the enemy wants to twist that moment. But heaven has watched. The angels have seen it all. They recorded the exact time, the exact date, and even the thought in that doctor's mind. It was not just a prescription. It was an opening. You may have noticed things shifting since that moment. You may have felt more tired. You may have felt emotional for no reason. Maybe old thoughts came back, thoughts you already defeated. Maybe you started forgetting things. Maybe people around you started acting cold. These are signs. These are signals. What was placed into your energy is not natural. It is spiritual, and it was meant to grow until it became a wall between you and God's voice. But Michael has arrived to remove it before it completes its work. Type I am anointed to get blessing 4040. There is a holy reversal starting now. What the enemy planted will be uprooted. But you must cooperate with heaven. You must say yes to the cleansing. You must be willing to face the moment when it began and allow the divine light to burn through what is unseen. Don't fear this process. You are not alone. This is not punishment. This is healing. What hath been hidden will now be revealed, and what was trying to grow will now be burned by divine fire. The enemy cannot hide in you anymore. Michael stands with his sword, not to hurt you, but to defend you. He will cut the cord of the spiritual transfer. He will pull out the assignment that was slipped into your soul. You do not need to figure it out by yourself. You only need to receive this truth. Accept the message. Say yes to the cleansing. Let the light of God search your soul like a lamp in a dark room. If there is anything there that was not placed by heaven, it must go. It cannot stay. It has no right to stay. The blood of Jesus is enough to remove all hidden attacks. Type I will not be touched to get blessing 7272. Even now, as you are listening, your spirit is waking up. Something in you feels stirred. You are realizing this is not just a random message. This is your personal warning. This is your divine appointment. You were not meant to carry invisible assignments from the enemy. You were not made to host hidden energy that was designed to break you. You were made to carry peace, love, clarity, power, healing. This is your moment to shake off the thing that never belonged to you in the first place. Do not doubt what heaven is saying. Do not push it away. Ask God right now to shine His light on every dark seed placed in you, knowingly or unknowingly. Tell Him you want nothing in your body, mind, or spirit that didn't come from Him. And as you speak it, Michael and his angels move. They begin to cleanse what was hiding. They begin to remove the spiritual assignment. You may feel lighter. You may feel clear. That's not imagination. That's deliverance. Type I am released to get blessing 8161. You may still wonder, how could this happen to me? You trust people. You try to stay in peace. You go to places with good intention. You never imagined something dark could enter you through a moment that looked normal. But heaven is revealing this now because the time has come for that hidden energy to be broken. It is not your imagination. You felt off balance since that day. You felt tired, even after rest. You've had strange dreams. You've lost your appetite or your peace. These are signals from your spirit, not just from your body. There are different types of healing. Some healing comes through medicine. Some comes through time. But some healing only happens when the spiritual root is exposed. The energy you received on that day at 5:55 p.m. was not only medical, it was spiritual. The enemy used that open moment to drop a spiritual package into your life. But Michael was watching. He saw the entire exchange. And now, heaven has sent this message to tell you, it can be removed before it grows further. Type I am free now to get blessing 5033. This is not just about your health. It's about your focus. Since that moment, you may have found it hard to pray. You may have felt disconnected from the voice of God. You may have felt stuck in your thoughts, heavy in your chest, slow in your actions. That is not just stress. That is not just life being hard. That is a spiritual fog that was placed on you through that hidden contact. but God is lifting it now. The fog is clearing. The assignment is being canceled. You were not created to live under silent attacks. You were created to carry the light of God. That light cannot be dimmed by a secret touch. That light cannot be stolen through energy manipulation. But the enemy still tries to ding you by placing spiritual burdens that seem small. The doctor's touch wasn't just for your body. It was a doorway, a portal the enemy tried to use. And now, that doorway is being sealed shut by Michael's sword. Type I am sealed by God to get blessing 9284. The blood of Jesus is stronger than any attack. It does not matter how that energy entered you. It will not stay. Heaven is not accusing you. Heaven is defending you. Michael does not come to shame you. He comes to fight for you. He has seen the plan of the enemy. He has followed the timeline. He knows when it began. And now he's here to end it. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being restored. Some people in your life might not understand what's happening to you. They might say, you're just tired, or it's all in your head. But your spirit knows better. Something changed. Something entered. And now something is leaving. Your breakthrough has already started. Every strange energy, every emotional confusion, every inner heaviness that came after that appointment, heaven is breaking it right now. And you will feel the difference soon. Type I'm rising again to get blessing 6677. Now breathe deeply. Let the presence of God fill the place where you are. Ask Him to search every part of you. Say this aloud or in your heart. God, I do not want anything in me that did not come from you. Remove all hidden things. Burn away all dark energy. Cancel every plan the enemy had for my life. I open my heart to healing, deliverance, and light. As you speak that, angels move. Michael begins his work. The cleansing begins. It is not loud, but it is powerful. It is not dramatic, but it is real. This is your moment. Type I am under heaven's light to get blessing 3882. The enemy tried to plant something in you quietly, but heaven is answering loudly through this very message. If God just reached you, imagine how many others are still unaware of what touched them. Every time you give through Super Thanks, join membership, or donate through PayPal, link is in the video description. You help us bring prophetic light into dark places. You help break silent attacks over souls just like yours. God said in Isaiah 60:1, Rise, shine, for your light has come. And when you give, that verse becomes alive in others. I believe some of you feel stirred to act now. That's not emotion. That's divine alignment. Your giving is not just a gift. It's a holy weapon. A seed that speaks louder than darkness. So let your offering today be your prophetic act of light. Release it in faith. Watch what God releases in return. There are things we see with our eyes, and there are things only heaven can see. When you sat in that room with the doctor, everything looked normal. The lights were soft. The words were kind. The paper on the table was clean. But Michael saw something deeper, something invisible to human sight. He saw the spirit behind the action. He saw the motive behind the hand. He saw the spiritual assignment that was hiding in plain sight. This is what heaven wants you to know. Even when it looks normal, not everything is sent by God. The enemy is clever. He doesn't always come with fear. Sometimes he comes in calmness. Sometimes he comes wrapped in trust. He sends agents into rooms you enter for peace. He sends dark intentions through people who appear professional. Michael heard what was said in that room. But more than that, he heard the silent thought that passed through that doctor's mind. It wasn't just a mistake, it was a plan. It was allowed, and it was meant to attach something to you without your permission. Type I am covered by truth to get blessing 7140. You may ask, why would someone do this? The truth is, the enemy doesn't always need a reason. You'll understand. Sometimes your light is too bright. Sometimes your purpose is too close. Sometimes your breakthrough is around the corner, and the enemy panics. He uses whoever he can wait. That's why you've been under pressure. That's why confusion hit you after the visit. It wasn't just life. It was a spiritual strategy. But now the strategy has been exposed. God is not just your healer. He is your revealer. He doesn't only want to remove sickness. He wants to remove the source of sickness. He wants to reach into the roots. Michael comes with his sword not to cut your body, but to cut away what was wrapped around your spirit. The attack didn't touch your skin. It went for your clarity. It went for your peace. It went for your direction. But now, it ends. The angels are removing the fog now. Type I am healed from roots to get blessing 8211. You might notice your memory returning. Your focus getting stronger. Your sleep beginning to calm. This is not random. It's a sign the atmosphere is changing. It's proof the invisible thing is being uprooted. You don't have to be afraid of what happened anymore. The doctor's touch was not the final word. The Spirit of God is moving in you now, canceling every order the enemy sent. That moment at 5:55 p.m. is not the end of your story. It is the start of your deliverance. Sometimes, what God reveals is painful, but revelation is also mercy. If He didn't love you, He would leave you in the dark. But He's speaking now. He's pulling you into the light, not to embarrass you, but to free you, not to scare you, but to cleanse you. You are being invited to walk in a new power, a power that cannot be touched by hands sent to harm you. Type I am walking in light to get blessing 6020. There's something else Michael wants you to know. The enemy didn't just target your body, he targeted your future. A touch was meant to delay what's coming. It was meant to make you second-guess God's instructions. But God has blocked the delay. The promise is still moving toward you. The favor on your life has not been removed. The vision will still come to pass. What the enemy tried to slow, heaven is now speeding up. Your acceleration has already started. You are not under a curse. You are under correction. You are not under a shadow. You are under light. You are not under attack anymore. You are under angelic defense. The energy that entered must now exit. The same doorway the enemy used, God is now sealing shut. What entered at 5:55 will be removed before 11:11. This is the window. This is the warning. This is the rescue. Type I'm under angelic defense to get blessing 9797. After the doctor's visit, something felt off, didn't it? But you pushed the feeling aside. You told yourself you were just being sensitive. You tried to move on. You didn't want to sound crazy. But inside, something wasn't right. You didn't feel like yourself. Your emotions felt strange. Your thoughts became unclear. Your spirit felt distant from peace. That's not your imagination. That's not weakness. That was a signal, your inner alarm going off. The enemy didn't just send an attack. He tried to silence your own ability to notice it. Archangel Michael says this: when the enemy can't overpower you with fear, he tries to confuse your spirit. He wants you to doubt your own discernment. He wants you to ignore the signs. He wants you to think it's just stress, just aging, just coincidence. But heaven says no, it's not coincidence. That moment you keep remembering, that strange quiet feeling in the room, the tiny chill when the doctor touched your skin, that was real. And your spirit picked it up. God wired your soul to sense what eyes can't see. Type I trust my spirit again to get blessing 7411. You've been questioning yourself since that day. You've wondered, why do I feel this way? You've tried to fix it with rest, food, prayer, and even distractions. But the discomfort stayed. It wasn't just physical, it was spiritual disconnection. The moment you allowed a stranger to touch your physical body, your spiritual gates also opened. That's why heaven is speaking now. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You are not broken. You were touched in a moment of trust, and something tried to enter through that trust. But now the opposite is happening. God is using your same spirit to bring you into freedom. What once felt confused is now being sharpened. What was covered is now being revealed. The voice you doubted is now growing strong. You are starting to trust your inner knowing again. Heaven is removing the false covering. The fog is lifting. Your inner eyes are opening wide. Type I see clearly again to get blessing 5188. Michael says the enemy hoped you would ignore the signs. But instead, you are waking up. You are standing up. You are claiming your right to be fully free. What was placed on you is breaking. You don't owe loyalty to any energy that doesn't carry peace. You don't have to carry something simply because it was wrapped in kindness. You are allowed to reject what your spirit does not welcome, even if it came through a doctor's hand, even if it looked normal. Heaven has given you that authority. There's a reason this attack was so subtle. The enemy knows your strength. He knew you wouldn't accept something loud or obvious, so he tried to sneak it in. But even the quiet things cannot hide from God. Even the softest whispers of darkness are heard in heaven. Michael stood by and recorded it all, not to shame you, but to intervene. This is why you're here now. This is why this message reached you. You were meant to be free. Type I reject what is not mine to get blessing 6344. You are stepping into a new clarity, a new freedom, a new level of spiritual sharpness. You will not only be healed, you will become a watcher, a guardian of your own space. You will not doubt your spirit again. When something feels wrong, you will say it. When energy shifts, you will notice it. When peace leaves a room, you will follow it. Because this experience has trained you. It has opened your eyes. You are not weak, you are wise. God is restoring your discernment now. It is part of your protection. It is part of your healing. You are not walking blind. You are walking with holy sight. You will know what is for you and what is not. You will not be tricked again. And if another moment like that ever comes, your spirit will speak up. Loud. Clear. Draw. Because this time, you will trust it. Top my spirit is alive to get blessing 8820. The enemy didn't need to cause a big scene. He didn't need you to fall or cry or scream. All he needed was one small moment. A single touch. A quiet connection. The kind that doesn't make anyone panic. But in the spirit realm, that moment was louder than thunder. Heaven saw it. Angels marked the time. And God wrote it down. The touch from the doctor may have lasted only seconds, but it opened a door. And through that door, something not from God was placed into your energy. Since that moment, something in your life began to feel slow, You've noticed it. You felt it. The passion you once had started fading. The joy that came naturally now takes effort. Your spiritual fire dimmed, even though you tried to stir it back up. Your body began to feel heavier. You started questioning your purpose, your direction, your clarity. But you didn't know where it came from. Now you do. It wasn't a random season. It was the result of something secretly planted. Type I'm not confused to get blessing 3003. Michael says that even a small spiritual assignment, when hidden, can do great damage over time. The goal was not to destroy you quickly, but to slow you down slowly, to make you tired little by little, to drain your prayer life until you stopped reaching, to make your thoughts heavy until you stopped dreaming. It was designed like poison in small drops. But now, heaven is reversing the drops. The poison is drying up. The effect is breaking. You are waking up from a long spiritual sleep. This is why you've been frustrated. You've been trying everything. You've prayed, worshipped, rested, fasted, but the heavy cloud wouldn't lift. It's because it wasn't just emotional. It was spiritual. Something was in the atmosphere around you. And when you couldn't name it, you blamed yourself. But Michael says, stop blaming yourself. The war was quiet. But now the light is loud. Heaven is not angry with you. Heaven is rescuing you. Type I will not carry darkness to get blessing 6884. You were never meant to be a carrier of someone else's darkness. You are a temple of the Holy Spirit. Your body is sacred ground. Your spirit is holy space. And anything that tries to enter without permission must be cast out. That's what's happening now. Every wrong frequency, every draining thought, every energy that came with the doctor's touch, it is being cast out. It has no legal right to stay. It cannot hide anymore. The sword of Michael has already been drawn. God is not only healing your body, He is restoring your atmosphere. The energy around you is shifting. The things that used to cling to you are falling off. The things that followed you home from that appointment are being sent back. That presence is being broken. The spiritual chain has snapped. And where there was heaviness, peace is returning. Where there was confusion, joy is rising. Type my peace is restored to get blessing 7700. You will feel it in the next few days. Some of you will feel it tonight. Something will lift. You'll sleep deeper. You'll breathe easier. You'll think clearer. You'll wake up feeling like yourself again. That is the fruit of this freedom. Don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Thank God for it. He has answered what you didn't even know how to pray for. He's removed what you didn't have words to explain. He's turned what the enemy meant for silent damage into a loud testimony. Michael stands guard over you now. The enemy cannot return the same way again. You are not just covered. You are guarded. You are not just warned. You are freed. And as the enemy watches you walk in new peace, he will know his plan failed. Because what he planted did not grow. What he released have been returned. And what he tried to silence in you is now roaring back to life. Type I carry God's presence only to get blessing 4555. There are moments when God interrupts what was supposed to stay secret. What happened at 5:55 p.m. on July 28th was meant to stay hidden. The enemy hoped you'd never notice. He hoped you'd move on, forget it, and just accept how you felt afterward. But heaven didn't let that happen. God loved you too much to let that silent energy remain. Archangel Michael saw the assignment. He saw the dark plan. He saw the touch that carried more than medicine. And now, the covering has been pulled back. What was hidden has come into the light. You were not weak for not noticing it right away. You were under spiritual pressure. The enemy used quietness as a weapon. He used normalcy as a disguise. He dressed the attack in kindness and gentleness. But Michael saw through it all. Heaven kept the records, and the Holy Spirit began nudging you, whispering, stirring you. That's why you ended up here. That's why this message found you. Because the time to break it is now. Type "no more hidden darkness" to get blessing 8844. The devil loves to work in silence. He plants things in calm places. He sends attacks through what looks peaceful. He doesn't always use fear. Sometimes he uses fake comfort. But the peace was false. The safety wasn't real. That's why you've been feeling so off. Your spirit knew something was wrong, but your mind didn't know how to name it. Now heaven has named it for you. And because it has been named, it can be cast out. You are not just healing. You are being reclaimed. Your soul is coming back into full order. What was out of alignment is falling into place. What was pushed out of balance is being corrected by the hand of God. You are regaining strength. You are regaining truth. Your mind is being renewed. You may feel warmth or tingling in your body. You may feel like crying. Let it happen. That is the healing moving through you. Type "my soul is restored" to get blessing 5666. Michael says your name has been marked in light. The enemy may have touched your body, but he could not steal your name. He could not rewrite your future. He could not block your calling. And now, that assignment has been burned. What was whispered over you in the spirit has been silenced by a louder word from heaven. The word says, "You are mine. You are clean. You are safe. You are strong. From this day forward, you will carry a stronger level of protection. You will be more aware of who touches you. You will be more aware of the energy people carry. You will no longer ignore your spirit's warning signs. The same spirit that warned you before will now guide you stronger. Your senses will sharpen. Your peace will grow. Your connection to God will become deeper, louder, and more constant. This is not just healing. This is transformation. Type "I carry divine light" to get blessing 6111. You must understand something else. What the enemy meant to stay in you forever is now fully broken. It will not return. It will not regrow. It will not find another place to hide. Because the angels have sealed you. The same hand that once let something in has now been closed by fire. A door is shut. That season is over. What entered through man is being removed by God. And what was delayed in your life because of this is being restored, quickly. The enemy tried to use trust against you, but God has turned it into a testimony. You are stronger than you were before. You are more aware now. You are more spiritually armed. You now know how to guard your peace, your body, and your energy. This will not happen again. You are not the same person. You are wiser, anointed, and guarded by heaven's might. Type "I walk in God's authority" to get blessing 9902. You have changed since the day. Something shifted after the visit. You may not have seen it clearly at first, but slowly, you began to feel different. It wasn't just about your body. It was something inside you. Your mind felt slower. Your heart felt heavier. The energy around you became strange. Even the people close to you began to seem distant. You didn't know why, but heaven did. Michael saw it the moment it happened. The touch may have looked innocent, but it carried an assignment. And now, the effect is being reversed. You're not who you were before that visit. And that's a good thing. You're becoming wiser, stronger, braver, more awake. This message didn't come to make you afraid. It came to show you that you're not alone. God has been walking with you the entire time. Even when you didn't know what was wrong, He was already preparing a rescue. Even when you didn't have the words, your spirit was crying out. But heaven heard. Type God heard me to get blessing 4632. There were nights you felt so tired you couldn't even pray. There were mornings where you woke up already drained. Your dreams became strange. Your focus disappeared. You thought it was life. You thought it was stress. But it was spiritual. The moment that doctor touched you, something shifted in your atmosphere. The enemy hoped it would go unnoticed. But heaven did not miss it. The light of God is now exposing what was hidden. Michael says what was placed can no longer grow. He is dying. It is shrinking. Is leaving. The roots are being pulled up from the soil of your soul. The shadows are running. The fire of God is burning it away. You will not carry this any longer. You will not walk under that invisible cloud anymore. It is finished. The old energy has expired. The attack has failed. The assignment is broken. Type the attack is broken to get blessing 8223. You are walking into a new season. One with more peace, more clarity, more strength. God is restoring what you lost. Time, energy, joy, and focus. All of it is returning. And not just returning, but increasing. You're not going back to who you were before the attack. You're becoming even stronger than that. The devil doesn't win when he plants something in you. He loses when heaven uses it to make you rise. Don't be surprised if your body begins to feel lighter. Don't be surprised if you feel sudden joy. It's not fake. It's not temporary. It's a sign of deliverance. It means the heaviness is lifting. The pressure is leaving. The spirit that came through that false touch is being forced out. The same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is now moving through your being, restoring every part, filling every space that darkness tried to take. Type I welcome God's Spirit to get blessing 3777. The Holy Spirit is pouring oil on you now. Oil of healing, oil of freedom, oil of power. You will walk differently. You will think clearly. Your sleep will become deep and peaceful. Your joy will become unshakable. What entered you is no match for what now fills you. Heaven is not just taking something away, it is giving something new, something holy, something bright, something that cannot be removed. This is your moment of exchange. The old energy leaves. The new glory enters. The pain is replaced with power. The fear is replaced with fire. The heaviness is replaced with healing. You are not under the old thing anymore. The enemy didn't win. He didn't get to finish what he started. God interrupted it. God exposed it. God defeated it. And now, you are rising. Type I rise in holy power to get blessing 7441. The reason the enemy came after you is because of your light. That may sound strange, but it's true. People don't attack what doesn't matter. The enemy doesn't waste his time on souls with no power. You are chosen. You are marked. You are filled with something divine. That's why you became a target. When you entered that room on July 28th, it wasn't just a visit. It was a moment of opportunity for both heaven and hell. The enemy saw a chance to stop your glow, but heaven saw a chance to make you stronger. Michael wants you to know this. You are not weak for being attacked. You are strong because you survived it. The enemy thought the touch would make you collapse. But here you are, still standing, still breathing, still seeking truth. That proves you carry more power than you realize. The darkness tried to enter, but it did not destroy you. And now it is being kicked out for good. Type "My light can't be dimmed" to get blessing 9090. The enemy wanted you to walk in silence, to live under confusion. But God has spoken. The silence is broken. The truth is loud. The cleansing is complete. And what you went through is becoming a spiritual weapon. Your testimony is now a sword. Your pain has purpose. Every strange feeling, every restless night, every emotional fog, it was all part of the battle. But the war is now turning in your favor. You are not just healed. You are rising as a protector. You will carry wisdom for others. You will become someone who can spot these attacks quickly. You will speak boldly when others stay quiet. You will carry fire where others carry fear. What the enemy meant to silence, God has made louder. You are stepping into your true spiritual voice. Type "I speak with holy fire" to get blessing 6224. The days ahead will feel different. Some old thoughts may still try to return, but they will not have power over you. Your light has been restored. Your spiritual covering is stronger than ever. The enemy no longer has a door. The access point hath been shut. The blood of Jesus has sealed it. You don't have to fight this again. It has been dealt with. The sword of Michael has closed the gate. Look around you. Listen to your spirit. You will notice the air feels different. The heaviness that sat in your room will be gone. The uneasiness you carried in your chest is disappearing. You are not under that assignment anymore. You are under divine protection. You are held in light. You are wrapped in glory. You are standing on holy ground. Type "I live under divine light" to get blessing 5110. And now, God is preparing to send you into new places. What the enemy tried to delay, God will now deliver. The blessings that felt far away are coming near. The open doors that were stuck are opening fast. You will step into moments that feel too good to be true, but they are real. Because God is rewarding your faith. He is restoring what was paused. He is multiplying what was delayed. You are not the same person you were before the doctor touched you. You are stronger. You are smarter. You are full of truth. The touch may have opened something, but God used it to wake up your warrior spirit. You will not just survive. You will lead. You will not just be healed. You will heal others with your words. You will not just escape. You will expose what once tried to hide. Type "I am a spiritual warrior" to get blessing 8788. Did you feel the shift just now? That wasn't just information. That was deliverance. The same way heaven rescued you through this message, thousands more are waiting for their light moment. When you support this mission, whether through super thanks, YouTube membership, or a donation via PayPal link in the video description, you help break chains in homes, hospitals, and hearts. Just like God said in Malachi 3:10, "Test me and see if I will not open the windows of heaven." Your gift becomes the seed that unlocks someone else's rescue. This is not charity, it's prophecy in motion. Don't wait. Sow into what God is doing. Give as a bold declaration. The darkness will not win. Not here. Not anywhere. There are moments when the enemy tries to come in quietly. He does not always come with noise. Sometimes he comes with soft hands and a gentle voice. That is what happened to you on July 28th at 5:55 p.m. You were not in danger on the outside, but spiritually, the enemy saw an opening. The doctor's touch looked normal, but it carried something else that was used as a spiritual door, a silent transfer, something placed into your atmosphere without your permission. But here is the truth heaven wants you to know. The door that was used to let the enemy in has now been closed forever. Not just closed by your strength, but by the sword of Archangel Michael. Not just sealed in words, but sealed in fire. The exact door, that exact portal, is no longer open. It has been blocked by divine power, and the enemy has lost his access. Type the door is shut forever to get blessing 4090. You may still remember the feeling. You may still think about the doctor's hand. But the energy that entered that day has been removed. You are not under it anymore. You are no longer holding what was placed on you. You are not carrying it in your body. You are not hosting it in your soul. The transfer has been reversed, and the effects are now drying up. What once felt heavy is lifting. This is not just a temporary change. This is a final breaking. God has stepped in to do what only He can do. He has burned the spiritual seed that was hidden in you. He has removed the spiritual fog. Your prayers are sharper now. Your spirit feels clearer. Your sleep will become restful again. Because when heaven removes something, it leaves no trace behind. Type God has cleared the fog to get blessing 5305. Michael says you will begin to notice divine protection everywhere. Things that once drained you will lose their power. Environments that felt dark will no longer affect you. People who carried strange energy will not be able to attach to you, because your covering has changed. The protection around you has been upgraded. The armor over you is stronger now. Heaven has placed a seal on your body, mind, and soul. God has not just removed the enemy's touch, He has removed the enemy's future reach. The enemy will not be able to send the same type of attack again. What he tried through trust, he will not be able to repeat. Because now you are awake. Now you are aware. Now you are covered in a deeper light. The place the enemy found you once is no longer accessible. Type I'm fully guarded now to get blessing 6999. Don't allow fear to rise when you remember the visit. Yes, something spiritual happened, but something greater has happened since. You are not at risk. You are not open. You are not vulnerable. The door has been closed by heaven's command. The enemy tried to mark you, but God marked you first. The mark of God is stronger, and it cannot be removed. That is why the enemy failed. That is why you are here, still rising. You are stepping into a new level of peace, a kind of peace that can't be shaken, a kind of peace that doesn't depend on people or places. This is peace that comes from knowing you are truly protected. Heaven fought for you even when you didn't know there was a war. The angels surrounded you before you even asked. This wasn't just a rescue, it was a rescue planned in advance. Type I live in God's peace to get blessing 8855. You will notice this change in your daily life. Your words will carry more weight. Your thoughts will move with more clarity. Your heart will feel more stable. The old confusion, the strange tiredness, the emotional pressure, it's leaving. You are walking in a new rhythm now. The presence of God is flowing in you without blockages. The power of heaven is now resting on you without interruption. That door, the one used by the enemy, was only open for a short time. But God's door has always been open. His door leads to healing. His door leads to wisdom. His door leads to freedom. You walk through it just by saying yes to this message. Just by receiving this truth, something has already shifted. The enemy's access hath been denied. Permanently. The silence that once followed that doctor's visit is now filled with divine sound. The sound of angels rejoicing. The sound of chains breaking. The sound of spiritual doors slamming shut. You don't have to worry about that touch anymore. You don't have to fear going back to that place. God has already stepped ahead of you, and He has removed the threat. Type "My future is protected" to get blessing 7413. The enemy had a full plan for you, and didn't stop with just a doctor's touch. That moment at 5:55 p.m. was only step one. The goal was to plant something spiritual inside you so that it would slowly grow. Not in your body, but in your thoughts, your peace, your joy. The enemy wanted it to stay hidden for weeks, even months. You wanted it to grow silently while you blamed yourself for feeling different. But what he didn't expect was that God would interrupt it early. Heaven did not let the plan continue. God watched every step. He saw what was placed. He saw how your energy changed. He saw your prayers weaken. He saw your sleep get disturbed. And just when the enemy thought it was working, God said, "Enough." Archangel Michael was sent to step in, and the plan was stopped. Right in the middle. The enemy was cut off before he could finish his silent attack. But God interrupted it to get blessing 3033. You might think the battle was long, but it could have been longer. You may feel like the attack lasted too many days, but it could have lasted years. God stepped in before permanent damage happened. That alone is a miracle. That alone is proof of His love. You didn't have to beg. You didn't even have to understand. Heaven moved out of love, not pressure. Because God always protects what belongs to Him. Michael says you were chosen to be free. The plan against you looked small. It looked like just a checkup. Just a routine visit. But the enemy used it to place something invisible. Something that would make your spirit sink slowly. But the light of God was watching. And the moment it entered, a countdown began. Not a countdown to damage, but a countdown to deliverance. And now, the clock has reached 0. The deliverance has arrived. Type "I receive my deliverance" to get blessing 8202. God says your freedom was already scheduled. This message did not find you by accident. The angels were assigned to bring this moment to you. To make sure you heard the truth. To give you the chance to be clean from what you didn't even know had entered. That is divine mercy. That is love in action. God didn't wait for you to get worse. He moved to stop it while you were still strong enough to rise. Some of you may feel emotional as you read this. That is your spirit responding. That is healing moving through you. Let the tears fall if they come. Let the pressure leave your chest. What you feel is not weakness. It's the enemy being forced out. Your body is releasing what your spirit no longer agrees with. What was placed inside you is being removed by the hand of heaven. Type "God is cleansing me" to get blessing 6670. You are not the same person who walked into that doctor's room. You have come out more alert, more protected, and more aligned with God. This is the power of interruption. This is what happens when heaven interferes with darkness. The enemy had a calendar, but God had a better one. The enemy had a plan, but God had a rescue, and the rescue won. From this moment forward, you are walking in new protection. The places where you were weak are now guarded. The cracks in your armor have been filled with light. The spaces the enemy once found are now sealed. You will feel stronger in the coming days. More peaceful. More rested. That's not a mood. That's a miracle. That's what heaven's interruption brings. Heaven interrupted for me to get blessing 4,550. You have not missed your purpose. The enemy tried to stop you, but he only delayed you for a short time. What he meant for long-term harm has been broken in a moment. You are still on time. Your destiny is still open. Your future is still flowing. Do not believe the lie that says you've lost something. You've gained wisdom. You've gained spiritual strength. You've gained fresh fire from heaven. Let this part settle in your heart. The enemy's plan is canceled. You don't have to look back. You don't have to wonder if it will return. It won't. God didn't just interrupt it. He shut it down completely. What was planted in secret has been burned in public. What was hidden has been exposed. And what was allowed for a moment has now been denied forever. Type the plan is canceled to get blessing 9,124. There are things we carry that were never meant for us. Sometimes it's pain. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's energy sent from another source. That's what happened on July 28th. The doctor's touch carried something more than medicine. It carried a spiritual assignment, one meant to attach itself quietly and grow unnoticed. It was sent to sit inside you like a hidden guest, pretending to belong, while feeding off your strength. But that guest has now been evicted. Heaven has removed what never belonged to you. Your spirit has felt the weight of something wrong ever since. You didn't have the words, but you knew something changed. It wasn't just in your mind. It wasn't just emotional. It was spiritual. Something foreign tried to live in your atmosphere, but your spirit refused to accept it fully. That's why you felt inner tension. That's why peace was hard to find. You were carrying something you didn't invite in. Type I release what's not mine to get blessing 6,001. God wants you to hear this now. Your spirit is being made clean. Every layer of spiritual dust is being swept out. Everything the enemy planted is being pulled up by the root. You do not have to carry it anymore. You do not have to manage it. You do not have to explain it to anyone. Your healing is not about understanding every detail. It's about agreeing with heaven's decision to set you free. The enemy tried to sneak in a silent infection, not in your body but in your spirit. He hoped it would grow without your permission. He wanted it to settle deep into your soul. But God never gave it permission. And now your spirit is rising to reject it. Your soul is being strengthened. Your inner space is being washed in light. You are no longer a carrier of false assignments. Type my soul is clean now to get blessing 5,119. From this moment forward, you will notice a change in how you carry yourself. The heaviness in your shoulders will begin to lift. The tightness in your chest will begin to ease. The confusion in your mind will clear. That's not imagination. It's deliverance. It's what happens when heaven finishes what it started. The cleansing has not just begun. It's nearly complete. What once felt impossible now feels light. The energy that entered you tried to shape your future. It tried to bend your thoughts, your desires, your feelings. But God has reversed the effect. The roots have been pulled. The fruit has been destroyed. What the enemy tried to grow inside you has now dried up. Your identity has not been changed. Your calling has not been lost. Your purpose was never touched. You are still chosen. Type my identity is protected to get blessing 7,333. Michael says you are not just healed, you are whole. Loving missing. Loving broken. Nothing left behind. The enemy came in like a thief, but God came in like a warrior. And now your atmosphere is guarded. The same way that energy entered through a touch, God is now touching you with His fire. His divine hand is healing what was touched by darkness. The old transfer is gone. A holy transfer has taken its place. You now carry peace instead of pressure, joy instead of confusion, strength instead of fear. You are no longer affected by what happened in that room. The doctor may not remember that moment, but heaven does. And now, your spirit is finally free from its effect. The peace you feel now is real. The lightness you feel is real. And it will only grow stronger each day from here. Type I carry holy peace to get blessing 8484. This is the beginning of your new chapter. You are not returning to who you were. You are moving into someone stronger, wiser, and more connected to heaven. The doctor's touch may have carried one thing, but God's touch is now carrying you forward. You are marked with heaven's oil. You are walking in new fire. You are glowing again. Let no voice convince you otherwise. Let no memory bring you back to fear. Let no old symptom make you question what God has done. Your spirit is not confused. Your soul is not broken. Your light has not dimmed. You are whole, and you are rising. This is the power of divine interruption. This is the mercy of God. This is your time to live free. Type I am spiritually whole to get blessing 9900. Many people think healing only happens in the body, but real healing goes deeper. What happened to you on July 28th was not just a health issue. It was a spiritual interruption. You went to that doctor expecting care, but the enemy used that visit as a moment to plant something deeper. That day, something tried to enter your peace. It touched your body, but it targeted your soul. It tried to steal your energy and delay your purpose. But God saw it all. He knew that the enemy was trying to send a false assignment into your life. It was not just an infection. It was not just confusion. It was a spirit that came dressed as something helpful. But heaven never gave it permission to stay. And now, your recovery has begun, not just in your body, but in your spirit, in your emotions, in your purpose. Type God is healing me fully to get blessing 6222. Michael says this part is important. You must understand that spiritual recovery takes time. Not because God is slow, but because He is gentle. He doesn't just tear out the bad, He fills the space with light. He covers the empty places with peace. He washes every shadow with oil. That is what's happening to you now. Zully, kindly, powerfully. Heaven is giving you back what you didn't know you lost. Some days you may still feel waves of tiredness. That's okay. That's part of the spiritual detox. What was placed in your atmosphere is now being pushed out. You're not regressing, you're releasing. Don't let small feelings trick you into thinking the healing isn't real. God is moving inside you in layers, removing one thing after another, sealing every crack, strengthening every part. Type each day I rise more to get blessing 7345. The doctor who touched you may have thought it was just routine, but something spiritual passed through that contact. You were the transfer, a transaction in the unseen realm. That's why you couldn't explain what felt different after. That's why your inner self felt strange. But God, who sees the invisible, is now reversing the invisible damage. What was planted is now dying. What was activated is now silenced. The recovery is not coming. It has already started. Heaven wants you to cooperate with this process. Rest when you need to rest. Speak out when you feel tension. Release what no longer belongs. Say no to energy that doesn't carry peace. Say yes to the light that is filling you now. Your recovery is not about effort. It's about agreement. Agree with what God is doing. Partner with the angels. Walk gently. Speak truth. Let God do the rest. Type I agree with heaven's process to get blessing 4666. God is not rushing your healing. He is restoring every part with care. You are not being rebuilt as you were. You are being rebuilt stronger. Your spiritual skin is becoming thicker. Your spiritual senses are becoming sharper. Your ability to discern energy is growing. This recovery is not just for now. It is preparing you for what's next. You will carry this wisdom into future situations. You will be able to help others see what is unseen. The enemy tried to turn your trust into a trap, but God turned that trap into a lesson, and that lesson is becoming a ladder. You are climbing higher now. You are moving forward, not just healed, but armed. What tried to stop your purpose has now strengthened it. What tried to dim your light has made it burn brighter. This recovery is sacred. It is your testimony. Type I am climbing higher to get blessing 8111. In the days to come, people may notice the change in you. They may say you look brighter, that your voice sounds calmer, that you feel different. They may not understand what you've been through, and that's okay. You don't need everyone to understand. You just need to remember that God understands. He saw what entered. He saw how it affected you. And now He is the one walking you through every step of restoration. You were not created to carry hidden assignments from the enemy. You were created to carry the presence of God. And now that presence is stronger in you than ever before. You are not just a survivor, you are a vessel. And the vessel has been cleaned, sealed, and filled with new glory. What was dark is now gone. What was heavy is now lifted. What was broken is now mended. Type I am filled with His glory to get blessing 9990. This is the closing of the assignment. Heaven has declared it. The very moment the enemy tried to enter your life through that doctor's hand, God already had a plan in motion to stop it. You didn't see the angels standing by. You didn't hear Michael's sword strike in the spirit. You didn't know the prayers already rising for you. But they were there. And now, the assignment has failed. Completely. You don't have to fear what happened anymore. That moment at 5:55 p.m. was serious, but not final. The enemy wanted it to grow. He wanted it to change your mood, your mind, your momentum. But heaven exposed it. Heaven interrupted it. Heaven reversed it. You will not carry the effects any longer. You will not feel confusion and think, "What's wrong with me?" You now know the truth. And the truth has made you free. You are leaving this message different than how you entered it. That is not just emotional. It is spiritual. Something has been broken. Something has been released. Something has been healed. And not just for today. This freedom is final. This healing is sealed. You are walking into your future without the invisible weight that tried to hold you back. You are stepping forward with clarity, strength, and peace. Let every word you've read become your armor. Let every blessing you've spoken become your fire. Let every truth you now carry become your protection. You will walk into places that once strained you, and now you will shine. You will face people who once confused you, and now you will feel clear. You will speak with boldness. You will sleep in peace. You will live free. This is not the end. This is the beginning. A faith chapter. A healing chapter. A holy chapter. Type I am free forever to get blessing 5100. If this message brought healing, clarity, or deliverance to you, then you already know how powerful heaven's voice can be. But many still walk in confusion, unaware of what touched them. When you support this mission, through a YouTube membership, super thanks, or a PayPal offering, link is in the video description, you help bring that same light into their lives. God says in Isaiah 58:8, your healing shall spring forth speedily, and when you give, that word becomes active in someone else's moment of darkness. This is not a donation. It's a holy act, a prophetic seed that says, let the next person be delivered too. You were rescued for a reason. Now help us reach the next soul who needs this word. Give boldly, sow in faith, and watch God do even more.